Our brains are amazing. They are capable of incredible feats, from solving complex problems to remembering vast amounts of information. They help us solve problems and remember information. This ability to process and retain information is crucial for our daily lives. This is called fluid intelligence and working memory. Fluid intelligence allows us to think logically and solve new problems without relying on previous knowledge. Imagine trying to remember a phone number while someone talks to you. It's a simple task, but it requires concentration and focus. That's your working memory in action. It's the mental workspace where we hold and manipulate information temporarily. You're using your brain power to hold on to that number. This is essential for tasks that require short-term memory and quick thinking. Fluid intelligence is your brain's ability to solve new puzzles and learn new things. It's like a mental agility that helps us adapt to new situations. It's like figuring out a new board game or understanding directions in a new city. These skills are vital for navigating the complexities of life. Both of these brain functions are essential for us to learn, work, and navigate our daily lives. They enable us to process new information and make decisions. However, our smartphones can make these brain functions work less efficiently. They are designed to capture our attention and keep us engaged. They constantly demand our attention, even when we don't realize it. This constant interruption can fragment our thoughts and reduce our cognitive performance. This constant distraction can make it harder to focus on tasks and remember information. It's like trying to read a book while someone keeps interrupting you. This isn't just a feeling, it's backed by science. Researchers have found that our cognitive abilities can be significantly impaired by the presence of smartphones. Studies show that the mere presence of a smartphone can reduce our cognitive abilities. Even if we're not actively using it, just having it nearby can be distracting. Let's dive into one such study that highlights this phenomenon. This research will help us understand how our beloved devices might be hindering our mental capabilities. Researchers wanted to see how smartphones affect our thinking. They did a study with college students. The students were given tasks that tested their working memory and fluid intelligence. The students were divided into 3 groups. One group had to keep their phones on the table, face down. The second group kept their phones in their bags. The third group left their phones in a different room. This experiment helped researchers understand how the presence of a phone, even when not in use, can affect our cognitive performance. The results were quite revealing about the hidden costs of smartphone proximity. The study found something interesting. Researchers discovered that the mere presence of a phone can significantly impact our cognitive abilities. The students who had their phones on the table did the worst on the thinking tasks. Their performance dropped noticeably compared to those who kept their phones away. Even though the phones were face down, just knowing they were there was distracting. This subtle distraction was enough to reduce their focus and efficiency. The students who left their phones in a different room did the best. Without the constant lure of their devices, they could concentrate better and perform more effectively. This tells us that even when we try to ignore our phones, they still take up brain power. Our minds are constantly aware of their presence, which drains our mental resources. Just the possibility of a notification can distract us. The anticipation of a message or alert keeps part of our brain engaged. Even if we don't actively check our phones, our brains are wired to pay attention to our phones. This constant vigilance is a result of our evolutionary need to stay aware of our surroundings. They are designed to notice new things and potential threats. A buzzing phone could signify something important, triggering our instinct to check it immediately. A buzzing phone could mean important information or a chance to connect with someone. This potential for social interaction or urgent news makes it hard to ignore. This instinct is hard to turn off, even when we know our phone is not important at that moment. Our brains are hardwired to respond, making it a constant challenge to stay focused. Section 4. Phantom phone calls. When your brain creates distractions. Ever feel your phone vibrate but there's no notification? That's called phantom vibration syndrome. It's another example of how our brains are overly tuned to our phones. Our brains are so used to our phones buzzing that they start to expect it. This can lead to feelings of anxiety and a constant need to check our phones. The good news is that we can train our brains to be less reliant on our phones. By setting boundaries and creating phone-free zones, we can reclaim our focus and boost our cognitive performance. Section 5, out of sight, out of mind, simple steps for a sharper focus. So, how can we fight back against this phone addiction? The answer is simple. Create distance. By physically separating ourselves from our phones, we can reclaim our attention and focus on what truly matters. phone-free zones. Choose specific times and places where you won't use your phone, like during meals or an hour before bed. This helps in creating a boundary and allows you to be present in the moment, whether it's enjoying a meal with family or winding down before sleep. Turn off notifications. Don't let every beep and buzz derail your focus. Notifications are designed to grab your attention, but you can take control by silencing them. This simple step can significantly reduce distractions and help you stay on task. Out of sight, out of mind. Keep your phone in another room, a drawer, or a bag when you need to concentrate. By removing the temptation, you can create a more productive environment for yourself. These simple changes can make a big difference. Implementing these strategies can lead to a noticeable improvement in your focus and overall well-being. You'll be surprised at how much more you can accomplish and how much calmer you feel. By taking control of your phone usage, you can enhance your productivity and enjoy a more balanced life. Section 6. Reclaim your mental edge, the power of phone-free thinking. In today's digital age, it's easy to let our phones dominate our lives. But it's important to remember that we have the power to choose how we interact with technology. By setting boundaries and creating space for phone-free thinking, we can reclaim our focus, boost our cognitive abilities, and live more fulfilling lives. Remember, your brain is capable of amazing things, but it needs space to think. So put down your phone and let your mind wander. You might be surprised at what you discover.